Kidnapped Methodist prelate, His Eminence Samuel Kanu Uche, has been released. Welcome to From the Dailies on Equa Television, and we'll review stories making headlines on our national and international papers and even in the sporting world. I'm Owolabi Tosin, and I will be doing this alongside Sele Elisha. Good morning, Sele.
Morning, Tosin.
Morning. Let's go with the papers.
Starting with the National Star, adopted Kaduna Abuja train passengers appeal to the federal government in a new video. We have the terrorists responsible for the attack on the Abuja Kaduna train on the 28th of March 2022 have released another video of the victims captured in the attack. 8 of the victims, 5 men and 3 women in the new video, called on the federal government to intercede to the demands of the terrorists. The son of the chairman of the Northern Elders Forum, Angu Abdullahi, and the class was captured in the video. You can read more of that inside the National Star newspaper on page 4. Other stories, mixed feelings as Peter Obi wins the Labour Party presidential primary, with detail on page 24. Yobe teenager girl rescues. Yobe teenage girl secures 200 million naira judgment against MTN and Nilcom. And kidnapped Methodist prelate regains freedom. Detail can be found on page 4. The big story, Wike calls the Southern PDP leaders who worked against him slaves. Say some Southern governors are betrayers, and you can read more of that story on page 22. And on monkeypox, Nigeria reports 6 cases, 1 death. And this is a story that can be found on page 12. And I remember to say we raise our awareness that we shouldn't wait for this monkeypox to spread. Just the way we're able to curtail the Ebola disease when it came into the country, I think we can also do the same when it comes to monkeypox. Since we're already recording 6 cases and 1 person is already dead, there's something need to be done. It's just a matter of time. If we don't do something, it will spread to other parts of the country. So I believe that the Minister of Health, the commissioners, and everyone that is involved in the health sector, let's do something about this monkeypox, because if we don't do something about it, something will really go wrong. So I just hope that the Ministry of Health will take this case very serious. Other stories, Tinubu, Amechi Ozibanjo and others appear before the APC screening committee. Detail of that can be found on page 22. And the picture story here, we can see the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice
who had worked overnight. Staff of the station who pleaded anonymity said he witnessed the attack having worked all night. And we need to stop this because we can see that the gunmen and even the IPOB and all these groups have overstepped their boundary. We see killings taking place in Anambra State, and now a broadcast station was being attacked, and vehicles and even broadcast equipment were being burned. You can see things worth millions of naira, billions of naira were being burned down as a means of being attacked by all these gunmen. Something needs to be done, and the governor of Anambra State should not allow all these things coming at this time to be a source of discouragement to him. Rather, he should put in more effort in getting these people down. We know that we know that he's killer of the lawmaker who was killed. Amount of money is being set aside to give to such person, but that we should not stop on looking out for just the killer of these lawmakers. We should look out for those who are disrupting the peace in Anambra State, because we know Anambra State to be a peaceful state. It should not come at this time where things will be done and the peace of people will be disturbed, and the peace of the community and even the state will be disrupted. Something needs to be done. The government needs to work hard in getting these people, and they should face the wrath of the law.
Exactly, Tosin, because yesterday, while another interview came up when they said the person who killed the lawmaker confessed he's the leader of the unknown gunmen there that caused confusion. And just like you're saying, if really we've gotten just one killer that confessed to be the one that killed the lawmaker, we're yet to know who killed Harina and her four kids. We're yet to know who are the gunmen behind here. And just like I said, we should not just leave the governor of Anambra to solve this on his own. All the southern governors should come up. It's a matter of time before it spread to other parts of the country. We should not just say because it is not my state, and so therefore I'll fold my arms and just wait and leave Soludo to solve whatever issue it's having in his own state. It's going to spread because there are roots that they have. That is how we had the issue where in the northeast, in the northwest, and before realizing they have roots that the moment you attack them in this state, they move to the other state and wait for things to come before you realize they are back there. So we should not fold our arms, because it's a matter of time before this can also cause a confusion, even in the 2023 election. So I just believe that governors of the southeast, governors of the south entirety, even entirety, let's come together and see what can we do to solve this from escalating, because it's a matter of time. I keep saying that let us not undermine this gunmen. They have a strategy, they know what they want to achieve. So let us already attacking a broadcast station which is supposed to be the mirror of the society that tells what is happening. It's a matter of time before we know where else are we sure that they are not going to attack there. If INEC office was attacked there, a local government was attacked, we're having a broadcast station being attacked. We really need to up our game in this country and know that we need to fight them with all that we have if we really want to maintain sanity and peace in the country.
Yes, Ella, and if you look closely, this is the way Boko Haram started. We don't want to have any other sect that will disrupt peace in our country. Still on Daily Independent, on Article's emergence, pressure mounts on PDP chairman Ayu to resign. Evade that agreement now, says governor. Jimmy Agbaje, Kola Olobondinyo, Diron Odeyemi speak. And maritime crimes threatening opportunities in Gulf of Guinea. And this is coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. Kidnapped Methodist Church prelate, others released. An alleged 2.9 billion naira fraud. EFCC arraigns Okorocha on 17-count charges. APC Presidential Screening Committee gets petition seeking to disqualify Tinubu. And on PDP presidential primaries, some southern governors helped deny region tickets. This is coming from Nyesom Wike. A high-level conspiracy by some southern governors on the platform of the People's Democratic Party has been identified as the major reasons why the party's presidential ticket could not come to the southern part of the country, as clearly envisaged by Nigerians. Making this revelation on Monday, the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike said some governors ganged up with some vested interest group to derail the quest of southern Nigeria to produce the next president of the country. Wike said it was the agreement of the governors of southern Nigeria that the presidency should come to the south, and he did not betray that. The continuation of the story can be found in page 12 of the Daily Independent newspaper. An article on reconciliation drive meets Wike, Saraki, and others. While on 2023, Ikwere Madu shops for party meets brick walls at APC. The picture story on the front page of the Daily Independent, we can see Kawu Baraje, the former national chairman, People's Democratic Party, and Atiku Bukola Saraki, the former Senate president, and a PDP presidential aspirant, Atiku Abubakar, and also a PDP presidential candidate and Senator Dino Melaye during Atiku Abubakar's visit to Saraki's home in Maitama, Abuja on Monday. And that's all on the Daily Independent newspaper.
Thank you, Tosin. Let's take a look at the Daily Trust newspaper. Starting with the presidency, the Southwest APC leaders in final push for consensus candidate. And to mark the World Tobacco Day, smoking kills 29,000 Nigerians annually. And I think this is a call and awareness for people to really know that it's written already even on the pack of cigarettes that you're liable to die young. So I think it's really something that we need to raise more awareness in the churches. Advert, or this is possibly the dangers of smoking, because we can see about taking about 29,000 Nigerians annually is really something we really need. To get the Daily Trust newspaper and read any story that's of interest to you.
And on Leadership newspaper, court returns Okorocha to EFCC custody. While on train attack, new video shows Ango Abdullahi's son still in terrorist den. IMF projects 22% inflation rate for Nigeria in 2022. An APC panel screens 12 aspirants. Tinubu vows not to step down for anyone. Despite presidency denial, Jonathan may be screened today. On monkeypox, NCDC confirms 1 death, 21 cases in 9 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Federal government gets $176 billion from custom modernization project. And on 2023 presidency, North rallies round Atiku. Gusau present ex-vice president to IBB tomorrow. Wike accuses Southern PDP governors of betrayal, while Rivers governors Ugwain, Beazu, Okoa tipped as running mate to Atiku. Obi emerge Labour Party flag bearer. The picture story on the leadership, we can see the Pdp presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, and former Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayose, and other party leaders during Atiku's visit to Wike in continuation of his commitment to ensuring that the PDP stands as one united party in Abuja yesterday. But before we continue with more papers on our list, we'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back. You're still on From the Dailies on Equa Television, and we'll be reviewing papers we'll be reviewing stories on our papers. At this point, our phone lines are open and displayed on your screen. Do well to call us, and we're live on Facebook. Do well to drop your comments on stories that interest you on the papers we've been reviewing so far. Let's move to our next paper, Sele.
Yes, the next paper, which is the Guardian newspaper. Nigerian record 21 fresh cases of the monkeypox and 1 dead, dated on page 4. SDP knocks president over statement on Ekiti election. And Wike accuses the southern PDP governors of betraying regional agreements. Oyo PDP Folari Bika over assassination attempt on peddler, detailed on page 5. The screaming story, Jonathan absent as APC screened presidential aspirant, with the rider screening panel asked to disqualify Tinubu over Chicago affair. Supporters in rousing welcome for Tinubu at the venue. And we have Bakare Ohaniye pledged to abide by the party position. Fallout of Atiku's emergence, APC chief tiles Wade Ozibanjo and others' chances. Atiku intensified reconciliation with Wike and other stakeholders. Obi picks the Labour Party presidential ticket. You can find more of that story on the front page, and you can continue to read that on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Picture story here, the downside, we can see the presidential aspirants on the platform of the All Progressive Congress, Korochas, in court on the day his co-contestants appeared by the screening committee in Abuja yesterday. Other stories here, concerns as Aspertree crew crop 1.62 billion naira monthly flying politicians. And the last story, gunmen attack Anambra Broadcasting Station, set vehicles ablaze and injure a staff. You can find more of that story on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. And that's all on the Guardian newspaper.
On this day newspaper, fuel subsidy may hit 6 trillion naira in 2022. IMF warns Nigerians. Predict 100% of country's revenue may be for debt service by 2026. And Nigeria received $6.8 billion facilities from global lender in 2 years. Akabweze rejects IMF predictions on debt service. And 80 million Nigerians facing food insecurity, says United Nations country representative. INEC reacts to election guidelines adjustment, says it's not unilateral, and details can be found in page 6. APC screens Tinubu, Amoshun, Amechi, Badaru, Nwajuiba, and 6 others. Screening continues today with Oshibanjo, Fayemi, Onu on standby. Bakare Ken Oluneye says they won't challenge the party if asked to step down. And Southern PDP governors ganged up against me, Wike alleges. My presidential bid sent messages to the north that South can't be underrated. Tells Atiku many people around him have no electoral value, and pledges to deliver party in 2023. Ex-Vice President, Rivers Governor Saraki Ayim close rank advance collaboration for next year's election. And the last story on this day newspaper, after emerging Labour Party's presidential candidate, Obi says emancipation of Nigeria has begun. And we have a picture story here, which is official opening of Premium Trust Bank, and we can see Ifeanyi Okowa and also Adeboye opening the Premium Trust Bank. And that's all on this day newspaper.
On Nigerian News Direct, money laundering, EFCC arraigned Okorocha, 7 others for 3.1 billion naira fraud. Buhari launched the Navy over Nigerians' exit from sea piracy list. Atiku's emergence will influence the APC choice. This is coming from Fawu Detail can be found on page 2. The screaming story, which is on 2023 presidential race, Jonathan Ngigi Silva Emefiele miss out as APC screened Tinubu, Amechi, Dave Umahi and others. NAFDAC nabs businessman for alleged importation of fake anti-malaria drug, with detail on page 4. A modernization of customs services to generate $176 billion. This is coming from the project chairman. And the governorship election, stop daydreaming over PDP winning Osun State, APC tells IU. And police arraigned man for alleged adoption rape in Benue, detailed on page 23.
IMF, a low COVID-19 vaccination rate, monetary tightening, advanced economic and muted foreign investment inflows, and exchange rate pressure. It expect Nigerians' inflation figure to rise to between 18 and 22% annually in 2022, following the rise in food and energy prices. It's sometimes to put an eye on is something to put an eye on, said IMF resident representative to Nigeria. Economic hardship forces Nigerian businesses to adopt sachet marketing. And windfall as Nigeria's crude grade demand soar in Europe and US. Modernization of customs service to generate $176 billion. Titan Trust Bank acquires 89% stake in Union Bank, and details can be found in page 5 of the nation's economy, and that's all on the paper.
Let's take a look at the international world, and looking at the paper, the Times paper, getaway at risk as chaos blamed on airline cuts. Ministers condemn unacceptable delays. And coffee drinkers have a shot at living longer. You want to know more about what coffee does to the body? You can get the Times newspaper, read more of that. 4 more tourists challenged the Prime Minister amid growing revolt over parties. And how to reduce your risk of dementia. So you can actually get the Times newspaper and read more about that. And that's all on the Times newspaper.
On Daily Mail, we have brain zapper ended my year of insomnia. And if you are suffering with insomnia, there are some drugs that can be of help to you for adequate sleep. And on Good Health, the foods that stop medicine from working. Save us from the €100 tank of fuel and Rishi. And here we still have 4-count prices hit high record. Treasury lands millions in extra VAT, plus now campaigners demand. So struggling with the high level of living, there are so many things that we, our nation, can learn from foreign nations to help us to have adequate means of living and also a favorable means of living, because Nigerians are really suffering and crying out to the government for speedy intervention. So we should learn from foreign nations on how we can make our economy favorable for everyone. That's all on the Daily Mail paper.
And on Daily Express, which is still an international paper,
we have Benzema deserved to win Ballon d'Or, says Messi, and Salah wins PFA Fans Player of the Year award. Aston Villa's Cash voted May Player of the Month. We have a caller. We have Mr. Steven from Benue. Good morning.
Well, I'm watching ECOWAS TV. So, yeah, about the newspaper reading, that's what I call. So I want to talk about the screening today. Are they going to screen Jonathan out or what is it? That is what I want to know about.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Steven. Talking about the screening, I know the screening is taking place for presidential aspirants, and we have speculations about Atiku saying that's Tinubu saying he's hearing about him being withdrawn from the screening, and I know it's based on the basis of his age. That is one thing I know, but is still ongoing. Today the screening will continue. We'll put our fingers crossed and we'll bring to you, that's tomorrow, on the outcome of the screening. We'll still put our fingers and our ears across for the processes and also things that will transpire even in the screening process. Still on the sporting life, war in Dallas. Pinnick stops Pisero's son from displacing Eagles match analysis and warns Portuguese manager over his roles. Disconnect in camp over Eagles coach relationship with backroom staff. Osimhen suitors get deadline to submit bid. And Liverpool considers Son Heung-min bid. Liverpool sets main price tag and Tuchel keen to keep Kante amid Man United interest. And that's all on the Sporting Life paper.
And on the Business Standard, which is an international business paper, Moments seek advice from Delhi on Russian oil purchase despite sanctions. And Delhi offers weight help. You can read more of that from the Business Standard newspaper. Yeah.
We have Mr. Chimaroke from Imo. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling from over there. My name is Chimaroke. I'm deliberating on the presentation of article to IBB. I want to know what is the meaning of NSA presenting article as a presidential Pdp presidential winner to IBB. I want to know the reason of that. Is it the IBB now the INEC personnel or what?
Thank you, Mr. Chimaroke. We know that it's a usual trend in our country. Even before the presidential primaries, they visited some certain people, that's the chieftain and elder statesman. So we'll just see IBB as an elder statesman. That's for PDP. That's a People's Democratic Party. But that's why that's the presidential aspirant, which is Atiku, have gone to present himself, and even those he wants to run with alongside for the presidential primaries. IBB is not an INEC official. He's nothing but just a chieftain and an elder statesman to the People's Democratic Party.
Yeah, so to seek for his blessings and also solutions on to run, strategies, I believe, on how to run for his presidential election. Still on the Business Standard newspaper, take immediate action against rice hodlers. This is coming from the Prime Minister. Most banks higher dollar rate for LCS.
Good morning, Mr. Beatrice from Kaduna.
Good morning. I want to talk.
Okay, still on the Business Standard newspaper, MST 14 holders yet to file the tax return. And here downside, the writer said this will create an opportunity for about 50 tin holders to pay their taxes without any penalty. No penalty for non-compliant tin holders next year. The last story here, bankers for rising lending rates. So to know more about that, you can get the Business Standard and read any of the stories that's of interest to you.
Thank you, Sele, for doing this with me, and thanks to our viewers. Thank you to Mr. Stephen, Chimaroke, and Beatrice for calling, and thank you to all our viewers for watching and even dropping your comments on our official Facebook page. Thanks for doing this with me. Let's do this tomorrow, same time and same station. Have a blessed day.